Hi, my name is Esther, and welcome to Slum Cat Munchies. For episode 2 today, spring is here, and there's lots of reasons to celebrate. Easter and Mother's Day coming up, Passover, all kinds of fun stuff. So I thought we'd celebrate with a cake. An orange spice cake, or what am I calling it? A spice citrus cake. That's what I'm calling it. And I'm going to save this for later. But so let's get into it. The first thing you gotta do is preheat that oven to 350, and I have mine going. The second thing you do is prep a bundt pan, such as this. And I have liberally coated every nook and cranny with a tablespoon of butter. And then I have put a tablespoon of all-purpose flour in there, knocked it around, removed the excess flour to the trash bin, and now we're ready to start our batter. So, into my mixing bowl, and I'm going to move you so you can see. Here we are. Okay, into my mixing bowl, and you can use a handheld mixer if you have it, and you can even use a whisk. I mean, this is a very no fuss kind of cake. In fact, you don't even have to sift the flour. This is 3 cups of all-purpose flour that's going to go into our bowl first. I just measured this cup, the 3 cups with a spoon, lightly with a spoon, and then leveled off the top. And here we are. You don't even have to sift it. So I'm just going to put that in there. Next we have our baking powder, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Next we have our salt, half teaspoon of salt. Then I'm going to put in our spices, and we have a half teaspoon of cinnamon and 2 teaspoons of ground cardamom. It has a very floral note to it, slightly peppery, but mostly floral. I love to bake with it. So 2 teaspoons of cardamom go in there, and then 2 cups of sugar. Just go right in the bowl, and I'm just going to use the whisk attachment. A lot of bowls going on here. I'm just going to use the whisk attachment to whisk them together. I'm just going to hold it in my hand and whisk them together here, get them combined, just to start them out, and then I'm going to stick it in my mixer. As I figure things out, sorry for the delay. Okay, give it a little stir, just to make sure all those things are together. And then we're going to go into a separate bowl with our wet ingredients. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Our wet ingredients start with 3/4 cup of fresh orange juice. Just freeze this, squoze this morning. 3 eggs, and I'm gonna give these 3 eggs a little whisk just to get the yolks going. We're gonna mix it all together in just a second in this big bowl. So there they go, 3 eggs. Two-thirds cup of vegetable oil. You could even put olive oil in here. That would be nice. We're going to have that citrus going. That would be a nice pairing with olive oil. Then we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I didn't put these in little bowls because I wanted to show you, but this is orange blossom water. I actually got this one from Amazon, but you can find them at all kinds of international markets. It has a light floral scent. Use it sparingly if you try it. It's delicious. So I'm going to go in with just a half teaspoon of orange blossom water. And then this other little elixir I have here is a home brew, you might say. I took some allspice berries in about 2005 and put them in a bottle with some spiced rum. And I think through the years I've put more than spiced rum. I think I've put spiced rum. I think I've put Honey Crown Royal whiskey in here just to, when I use it, I just refill it up a little bit as needed. But I just put some allspice berries in there, and they steep in that juice, and it has the most delectable smell. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's spicy. It is the essence of allspice. So I'm going to go in with a half teaspoon of that. I'm going to go in with a tablespoon of orange zest. And then after that, I want to make sure to get all of that. And then after that, a teaspoon of lemon zest. And I'm just going to zest that up right here. And I'm going to be careful not to get the white part underneath. Sorry, you cannot see. Let's move so you can see. Okay, I'm going to be careful not to get the white part underneath it. And so I'm just going to rasp in a continuous motion so I only get the very top of the rind, not the white part. And be careful as you're using a rasp, because you can grind off a fingertip if you're not careful. Sorry, that's why I stopped talking. I'm trying not to hurt myself. Okay, a teaspoon. There we go. Give or take. All right. In to the egg mix it goes. I'll save that for later. Let me make sure I've got everything. Yes, let's give it a good mix. And then we're going to add it to our dry stuff in the mixer. Alrighty, here we go. Well, those eggs are holding on. In they go. All that liquid. And then I'm going to mix on low until they come together, stopping every once in a while with my spatula to scrape down the sides and get the bottom. Sometimes it likes to get trapped at the bottom down there. Some of the flour. We don't want that. We want all the flour in there together, mixed completely. I'm going to scrape down one more time because I see a little part in there. It didn't quite get mixed. I'm just going up to like 2 here. I don't want to overmix it too much. Alright, I think it's all together. Let me just do one more scrape to make sure. Get all this that's stuck to my spatula in there. Most of it. Okay. One more little whirl. All right, and we're ready to go to our prepared pan. Let's bring it out. chair on the whisk. Alright, let's get it in. Ooh, it's very thick and beautiful. I'm just kind of evenly pouring it here, or as best I can, anyways. Alright, I can see those flecks of zest in there, so pretty. Like confetti. Alright. Get that last bit. Alright. Just going to tilt it so that it's nice and pretty on top, level, and then it's going to go in the oven. And I'm going to set my timer for 40 minutes. All right, while that's baking, let me get you in here. We are in a little saucepan going to make a syrup that we are going to drizzle into the cake after we have punctured some holes in it. So into this little saucepan goes a half a cup of water, a half a cup of sugar, and I need to turn that on high. Gonna whisk it until the sugar dissolves, and I'm gonna let it come to a boil. Thank you, oven, for telling me that. I'm gonna bring it to a boil and let it reduce by a third. And this will reduce, and our cake will bake, and I will be back. And we're back. The timer has gone off, and I will turn it off now. And our sugar and water has reduced by a third. And we are going to add 2 tablespoons of Kraken black spiced rum, so delicious, in with our sugar and water that has reduced. All right, and I have removed the cake and tested it with a skewer, and here it sits upon a wire rack to help with the cooling. We are going to use our skewer, and I'm going to move you up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Come closer. Okay. I'm going to use my skewer to make little holes about every ½ inch to inch or so, just around the middle of the cake, not going too deep. We don't want to hit the top, just in little circles around, because we're going to pour that syrup down over this, and it's going to seep down and make this cake deliciously moist and fragrant. So there we go, all the holes. And then let's go in with our delicious spiced rum syrup right over the top, onto the warm cake with the warm syrup, and down it goes. We are going to let that sit and saturate for 10 minutes, and then we will unmold it, and I'll be right back. And we're back. the timer has gone off. Let me shut that off. And hopefully our diligence with buttering and flouring the pan will pay off, and it will come out without any chunks left behind. I have used my offset spatula, handy dandy offset spatula, to go around the edges a little bit, just as a little added insurance, to make sure that we give it the best opportunity to come out of here in one piece. All right, the pan is a little bit warm. I'm going to take my platter. This one is a little big for this, but we're going ahead with it anyways. And I'm going to put an oven mitt on because, like I say, this is still a little bit warm. We're going to turn it. I heard it go. I heard it go. Let's see. Let's see. There she blows. Yay! All in one piece. Lovely. Lovely. All right. We're gonna, and if you try to make this and it doesn't come out all in one piece, check it out. We're gonna make a little drizzle to go atop it so you could camouflage whatever little crevices you might have going on. And this is 1 cup of powdered sugar and 5 teaspoons of fresh orange juice. The simplest drizzle ever. And we're just gonna whisk this up. Won't take but just a second to get it nice and smooth. And it's got that lovely, lovely pale orange color that looks so pretty. And actually, I think I'm going to add, I have a little bit more. So make that, a little bit more orange juice is what it needs. So make that 6 teaspoons. Let's just add a little bit more. Wait. Make sure that it will drizzle nicely for us. I guess it depends on the weather. If it's drier, you might need a little bit more juice in there just to get it flowing. And I think I just might want just a spot more, just a spot. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, maybe just a little bit more. Okay, Esther. There we go. Oh. All right. Whisking, whisking, whisking. I'm gonna get my little spatula and we're gonna drizzle it over. All right. Here we go. A thin stream, sort of. Ooh. There we go, so that it kind of drips down the sides. Looks pretty. How's she look? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And then just to adorn it a little bit, I sliced the pulls off of my oranges before I juice them. So here's the navel end, I don't know, the core end. And I just made these little cuts with my knife. It's really easy. Very superfluous. We don't need this, but hey, this is just a little added extra decoration to adorn our plate. Just cut out little things to make them look like little flower petals. There we go. Spiced citrus cake. Now, I should let this sit for like an hour so that when I cut into it, the steam does not escape and we lose any moisture. But because I'm making this video, I'm just gonna cut into it. Let me find a good knife. Okay. Let's do it. Ooh. Ooh. It looks good. Oh. Make it a little plate. Did not prepare in my haste, but here we go. A little slice of cake. Bring it up for the taste. Here we go. There it is, a lovely close-up. It's got that nice brown crust and the glaze. Little flecks of the zest in there. Here we go. It's very good, moist. The little flecks of zest are just delicious in there. Brings back good memories. I made this for the first time for my friend's wedding. Big hugs to you, Clinton and Renee. Excuse me. Thank you so much for watching, and walking, and watching. There's our cake. Peace and love to you all. I hope you have a lovely spring, a lovely Easter. Happy celebrations to you all. Peace and love. Bye-bye.